Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Khimi time. Have you ever heard of lookism? To what extent do people discriminate by the appearance?
Discrimination in employment on the basis of race, sex, national origin, religion, and other federally protected categories is well recognized as a social problem, and anti-discrimination legislation works to limit the impact of discrimination on marginalized populations. However, most people do not consider discrimination based on physical appearance. In recent years, the prevalence of the issue of physical attractiveness discrimination has been brought to the attention of professionals dealing with unemployment and has been researched by scholars in both psychology and business. It has been found that physically attractive individuals are consistently chosen over less physically attractive individuals for job interviews and are also more likely to be hired for positions.
Hi, I am Chriza Khim Fontanilla. I am 20 years old and I would like to apply in your company because I want to apply.
Do you have any knowledge in the audit firm?
Yes, I know how to do that. I am flexible like this.
Alright, you're hired.
Good morning, I am Chriza Khim Fontanilla. I am 20 years old. I graduated from Harvard University with Latin honors, and I would like to apply in your company because I believe in my capabilities and I know I would be flexible enough with all the job opportunities you will be giving me.
How do you see yourself 5 years from now?
How do I see myself 5 years from now? I see myself 5 years from now as a loyal employee here in your company, and I would be working with my own investments, and I would be also sharing my knowledge to the future applicants here in your company.
Alright, just wait for our call.
Alright, so let's talk about lookism. You know, lookism is a word that a lot of people don't know it exists. I didn't even know it existed until I stumbled upon this article that I was reading regarding that topic, regarding discrimination against a person's physical appearance. And I didn't know it had a name too. Like, diba sa other discrimination regarding sa sex, merong sexism, and then meron din sa racism, diba? Pero I didn't know na regarding sa physical appearance, meron din pala silang term about it or regarding that, and that is lookism. So, ano ba yung lookism? What is lookism? Lookism, in simplest term, is a discrimination against a person's physical appearance. You see, when people say beauty is subjective, we can argue that people can have disagreements on who's attractive and who's not. And that's actually true, but it doesn't take away the fact that people have these collective views of attractiveness in a similar way all across range of races, countries, continents, and studies have proved that. Even I have my own beauty standard na I also conform to beauty standard. Like, hindi talaga maiiwasan yan. I won't be hypocrite na mas I really admire Western beauties. Their eyes. So, ayun nga, there are very specific features favored on their scale of attractiveness. Like dito, kunwari sa Philippines, maganda ka kapag maputi ka. But before siguro, so super siya. Medyo super yung ganung issue dito sa Philippines. Kasi hindi pa masyado na-advocate ang pagiging morena. Pero ngayon, look, ang dami ng proud to be morenas. They have their own brands for morena beauty and all that. So, ayun nga, meron featured level of attractiveness sa tao. Let's say, matangos yung ilong, yung lips, plump yung lips, mala Kylie Jenner, mga ganun. Tapos, beauty standards exist dahil doon. Like, remember another example, remember nung junior high school tayo, meron tayong JS prom, and we have that face of the night, yung mga ganun, prom queen, and all that. Doon pa lang meron ng beauty standards, no? There was almost always a consensus on who the shortlisted candidates were, and people are very blunt about it. But all of a sudden, when it comes to lookism or the discrimination against person's physical appearance, people are beauty blind. Like, in other words, the subjectivity of beauty is limited. Like, if it wasn't, then lahat tayo makakakuha ng award na face of the night, diba? And beauty standards won't exist. Another is there's an empathy problem about this. Like, when people share their stories about bullying or about their experiences of being bullied or being treated terribly because of their appearance, usually ang nagiging response, maganda ka naman eh. O kaya, maganda ka naman kasi talaga. Magpapayat ka lang ng onte. O kaya, kulang ka lang sa makeup tea, maganda ka. Like, what's not clicking, people? What's not clicking? Kapag nag-open up, like, sa inyo yung tao, sensitive matter for them, you don't have to tell or give advices or just comment about it. Like, just let them open up. What they just want is your understanding of their experience, and they need you to recognize that this is an issue for them. You must try to change your behavior towards it, that kind of behavior, if you're like that. If you just lend your ears and like allow them to freely open up their thoughts, their feelings, that's the kind of empathy they need from sharing their story. Now we have this default behavior, and this is where prejudice and biases would take place. We have this preconceived opinion na kapag maganda, mabuting tao, and kapag pangit, masamang tao agad. Like, remember, kapag nasa jeep ka lang, may makatabi kang parang medyo, let's say, medyo suspicious looking. Ganun na lang. Suspicious looking. And mapapaisip agad tayo. Medyo judgmental naman kasi talaga tayo. Mapapaisip tayo. Bigla-bigla na lang tayo nangyayakap ng bag. Nangyayakap na natin yung bag natin. Hinaharap na natin. Umuusog na tayo. Ganun tayo kasama. Kidding aside. Pero, ganon. Like, meron tayong ganong behavior na ang judgmental agad natin. Like, on the other way around, hindi lang naman sa masamang tao. Like, I remember merong movie sa Netflix, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, starring Zac Efron and Lily Collins. It's a true story. It's about a man, a serial killer man, Ted Bundy. He's a serial killer in the United States and is very famous. Like, he raped a lot and killed and raped a lot of women. Kidnapped, killed, and raped a lot of women. Si Ted Bundy kasi, he's attractive. Like, gwapo kasi talaga siya. He's good looking, and he's a law student. Siyempre, yung movie kasi ang naging flow niya, pinakita doon yung kung paano nakakalusot si Ted Bundy sa bawat court session kasi ang talino niya din. And talagang ma-attract ka kasi matalino na, gwapo pa. Diba? That's actually the issue there. Kasi syempre, may presumption na sila na gwapo, tsaka matalino pa. Tapos, nag-a-appear si Ted Bundy sa public as someone na hindi mo talagang may isip na kaya gawa ng masama. You see, the person raped, killed, and kidnapped a lot of women, and countless pa nga, hindi mo talagang bibilang sa kamay. Sobrang dami niya na But even in his lifetime, there were still women who sending him letters in custody after hearing all the terrible things he did. You see that default behavior can range from biases and special treatments to flat-out brain-dead behavior. And we also have the media influence, like the discrimination against a person's physical appearance. They tend to change or to alter their appearance. They use filters. I have nothing against using filters. Even I enjoy using that. But ayun, they use filters to the point na nagiging unconscious na yung ganong behavior nila. Pagiging madalas nilang pag-use ng filters, every selfie and all that, it's not about them anymore enjoying the filter or parang nagagandahan dun sa filter, but it's them trying to please other people.
What are the 3 things that we do to appease our obsession with beauty? Beauty standards have always existed. Earlier, I talked about how certain features are favored in society. Well, there are a lot of them, but I'll just highlight slimmer faces and smaller noses. First, plastic surgery. A nose job or rhinoplasty is unsurprisingly one of the most popular cosmetic procedures, and it has always been. Almost 90% of Hollywood celebrities have had some kind of procedure done, and of course, it is not anything else. A nose job is definitely going to be it. Next is makeup. Makeup is an art that has evolved over time. The form of makeup being done today is a type that can give you a new face, and one of those features altered is the nose. With the magic of highlighter and contouring, a whole part of your face can disappear and your nose can become incredibly smaller. Instagram and Snapchat filters. It's really the magic of filters. Filters undoubtedly make people feel more beautiful, and these filters would give you features you didn't know you wanted. But more specifically, they give us the features we have always wanted. From the flower crowns to the contour filter, slimmer face and smaller nose would always be everyone's favorite feature to alter. It plays on our illusioned versions of ourselves and makes us fall in love with an altered reflection more than the ones we see in the mirror.
Ano ba yun? Wala na naman ako ma-post. Ano ba naman kasi mukha ito eh? Teka, maghahanap na lang ako ng filter sa IG. Ito natural filter. Natural filter, okay. Matry nga to. Tingnan natin kung natural talaga ha. Uy, ang galing! Pakkan naman pala itong filter. Ang ganda naman, kasi maganda.
Here are small ways on how we could make appearance matter and how we could change that. First, people denigrate others' appearance constantly. At weddings, guests remark on the bride's weight. At work, colleagues remark on a new hire's attractiveness. We can challenge lookism in the same ways we confront racism, homophobia, sexism, or classism. Call out microaggressions or the subtle ways appearance is used to denigrate others. Refuse to call in jokes and jabs about appearance. We can also serve as consumer watchdogs by responding to advertisements and marketing that suggests that our human worth can be reduced to what we look like. Support companies that market products in ways that celebrate wide-ranging appearances. Appearance varies, and some of those differences make us uncomfortable. Own that discomfort. Then do the work of unpacking stereotypes and unconscious bias. Owning discomfort is the essential first step to pushing through that discomfort. One upside of challenging lookism is a kinder and gentler world. Think critically about how much of your identity and self-worth is bound up with what you look like. Stop complimenting others' appearance. Stop discussing the strategies you use to manage your appearance. If we want to challenge lookism, then we must stop affirming the overarching importance of appearance in our everyday conversations with others and with ourselves.
Lookism is not new to people. We all know it exists, we just don't do anything about it. Beauty bias may not change, but we must all make a conscious effort to treat people fairly in spite of what you think about their attractiveness. If you see a person getting bullied, stopping or condemning such behavior is a must-need to do. Lookism is not an ignorance problem. It is an acknowledgement problem. And this is now the time that we must acknowledge that this is problematic and we must do something about it.